Hello, everybody, and welcome to Athletic Definition. My name is Coach Ray Z, and today I'm going to talk to you about heel striking. Some people call it overstriding. It also causes shin splints, so this is a great kind of way to tackle everything, and it's a really simple way to do it. Before I get into that, I have my wide receiver gloves on that I had to buy to go to the gym. So I actually used them twice, but since it's Super Bowl Sunday, I figured I would tell you guys my picks. I'm from LA. I was born and raised here, and uh, even though I'm from LA, when I was in LA, I remember the Raiders and the Rams both being here. When they were both here, the Rams were always and the Clippers now, how the Clippers are like the little brother to the Lakers, and they never really got the respect. At the time, the 49ers would always beat the Rams. They had a quarterback named Jim Everett, and there was a sports guy named Jim Rome, and he would always make fun of him. He'd even call him Sissy Everett. There's a nice video you can look up where he finally got upset and he ended up punching the Jim Rome. That's a long time ago. So even though I'm born and raised in LA, I've always been a 49er fan. When the Rams left and the Raiders, to me, it didn't bother me. It really just made us here in LA be able to watch more games like from different states and different teams. Because before any time it would be the Raiders or the Rams playing, of course, we would have to watch them because they were the local teams. So when they left, it didn't bother me at all. Now that they're back, there's the Los Angeles Chargers and the Los Angeles Rams. The Chargers actually have their first year was in Los Angeles, and if I were to choose between the Rams and the Chargers, I would go with the Chargers. And so for this Super Bowl, I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, Even though I'm from LA, so go Cincinnati. And from there, I'm going to move on to basically how to deal with heel striking. So there's a lot of information about heel striking. Basically, it's caused by imbalances in your body, and so you're having to use other parts of your body because certain muscles aren't strong enough. And when you get tired and your form goes bad, you will either uh, overstep. And I actually will be demonstrating. We'll try that, see how that goes. And so, for those of you who just listen to the podcast, I will be having this on YouTube and Spotify. And of course, you can see it here on Fireside Live, the replay. And that may help you out here. So, what I'm be showing you, I've combed through all the YouTube videos. I've combed through a bunch of books. When this first started, I would say, I'm trying to think of the book. It's a really well known book. And I think it's called Barefoot Running. That kind of started changing a lot of people, their ideas of how they thought they should run. And basically, the minimalist foot running came out. A bunch of people got those shoes and started getting hurt because their feet, our lower body is weak. Most running injuries, I believe, are about 95% from the knees and below. And so that just goes to show you that we need to definitely strengthen our lower part of our legs. And this isn't just if you're a runner. If you do any sort of sport, what I'm going to show you today can help you. As you get older, if you just want to help avoiding falls and getting hurt. We know as you get older, that's a big risk. Then people break their hip. So this is a great way to do it. Now, typically, this exercise that I'm going to show you, uh, I sell it for 5 easy payments of $59.99 plus shipping and handling, inflation, taxation. But today I am feeling very, very generous. So I decided to show it to you for free. Now, what I'm going to show you is called the tibialis raise. And I've showed it before, but I don't think the running world has really embraced this. So, because I play multiple sports and I work out in multiple things, I see different types of workouts. And so, typically, if you're a runner and you're going to run, you're only going to look at running information. If you do jujitsu, you're only going to typically look at jujitsu information. If you are a basketball player, you typically will only look up basketball information, basketball coaches, basketball moves. Now, the great thing about cross training in different um, sports, different disciplines, is that you learn, and some of these things are very effective. Because I think pretty much in any sport now, we've all come to the realization that you need strength. So, strength training is always mixed in with whatever type of sport you're doing. Now, what's still being neglected is the lower parts of our legs, the flexibility of our ankles, the tibialis, the stretching and loosening up of the soleus. These are all things that are still being neglected, and I'm trying to shed light on it. The reason I'm aware of it is because of the algorithm. The algorithm this time actually helped. Since I do different things, one of my goals is still to dunk. I've never been able to dunk a basketball. I still want to dunk a basketball, and I was talking to my son about it. The algorithm heard me, and next thing I know, the knees over toes Ben Patrick appeared on my Instagram feed. That's how I first heard about him. But then I had kind of seen one of his students doing some training. I'm trying to remember his name. Um, Connor Barth. If you look him up, that guy has some massive hops. He's dunking all over the place, and he was basically doing those workouts. He had some major injury, and he went to Ben Patrick, and Ben Patrick helped him out. So this is the case where I've always been open to different things because I am a Bruce Lee fan, and he always says, takes what is useful and disregard what isn't. And when you do that, you're not afraid to try different things. That's why he's kind of basically the father of MMA. He wasn't afraid to mix other things, and you can get really good results. So, this right here is, if you're a heel striker, this is great if you're running like downhill, like the Revel marathons. And then a lot of it can be corrected through form, but the form will only go so far if you're weak and not actually strengthening those. So remember, what I'm going to show you is just one thing that'll definitely help get you there that I don't see any other running coaches showing. And that's probably because most running coaches don't play basketball like I do. So when you do this, it's really easy to do. You don't need any weights. You can just do it at home. So let me switch mics here. All right, so now I'm going to put the headphone down, and I know you can hear me because I tested it. So this right here, what I'm going to show you next, is called the tibialis raise. And the tibialis raise can be done up against the wall. Now, when you do it up against the wall, and I'm going to open this just to demonstrate, you only have to have your butt on the wall. You don't have to have your back. So just be sure to have your butt. And then what you're going to do is you're going to raise the bottom of your feet. And you don't want to just drop them down. Okay. You want to have control. The more control you have, the better. And me personally, with the shoes are the ones that cause a lot of issues. So if you're wearing shoes, I recommend taking them off for a couple of reasons. You're going to find one is that it's actually easier to do with your shoes off because your shoes have heels. So that'll make it more difficult. Now, um, don't worry if it really, really hurts and you can't do, just as long as you get them done. I want you to do 25 weight, then do 25. If it's really, really easy for you, or to do it really easy, like I said, take off your shoes because the heel will add extra, and then get as close to the wall with only your butt against the wall and start raising and lowering your feet. To make it more difficult, you're going to scoot your legs further from the wall. And the most important thing you want to do here is to make sure that your knees are straight. You don't want them to bend because that's cheating. If you start getting fatigued and tired, that's perfectly fine. Take it a step back, go make it easier and do it. Little by little, you're going to feel strength, you're going to feel flexibility uh, on your ankle, on your tibialis will get stronger. It's like your first line of defense when you decelerate. So when you're heel striking, it's when you're landing. So hopefully you can see it. When you're landing and your foot goes straight, and then the impact lands like that. So when you do that, you can see elite runners that heel strike, or it appears that it's kind of hard to tell on pictures. When I do the editing for this one, I'll add some elite runners that you'd be like, are they heel striking? And some of them do, but it's really hard to see because it'll look like it, and then they fix it. If you're going to be a heel striker, what you want to do is not have your legs straight, because it's just going to put more pressure. If you're not training your tibialis at all, then that's how you start getting shin splints. That's how everything starts hurting. It could cause knee pain issues and everything else, when really all you have to do is just raise your feet. That's the beginning. Now, depending, maybe some of you guys did like karate or Muay Thai and have really good ankle flexibility right here. So maybe what you need to do for you is take it to a next level. Now, I've been doing these for over a year, and so I've been training with what is called the Tib Bar. The Tib Bar is available by two companies. I will put them on the show notes. I'm actually trying to get one of the creators of the Tib Bar to come on the show. Um, and I'm just kind of trying to put lighting here so you guys can see. But let me show you what a Tib Bar is. A Tib Bar is this. You won't see it at any gym. And I usually use it with shoes. So we're going to try it without shoes and see how it goes. But basically, if you already have that flexibility, then what you can do is you get this, and I don't know if it'll work because you need something to raise it, but you stick your feet out like this, and then you're raising it. And when I do the edit, I'll show you me doing it right here. I can't really do it because I don't have all my mats, and I don't want to mess up the floor. But this is something you can do if you're already pretty strong there. Me before, I could not even, I had zero lack of flexibility on my ankles. I couldn't even do this. I could not. This would hurt. This would hurt. And I know I'm not the only one, because when I do go to martial arts class, when the instructor is teaching the lesson, a lot of times you start sitting like this. I couldn't do it before. I couldn't do it. So it just depends on, what type of martial art you've been doing. I noticed that the ones that, because they're kicking all the time, they hold control, and then they are actually kicking. So if you're a martial artist and you've been doing it for a long time, you probably have better flexibility. However, this is still a great exercise, and I still recommend for you to do it because it's helping you get stronger. And anytime, especially if you're changing motion, if you're doing anything like that. All right. So anytime you're switching motion, uh, you're stopping. Well, anytime you're stopping and you have to plant on one foot, you're you're using one leg, and if you have one leg weakness, so when you plant, if your other leg can't plant, I believe it's like 70% chance that you're gonna have some sort of ligament or damage on one leg. So as I said, there's many different exercises that you can do, but this is one, and this is one that I see everybody neglecting. So I'm always recommending it. This is not going to be a one fix for everything, even though enough people are not doing it. This will definitely help a lot, but the body's interconnected. So um, that's not the only reason why you're having issues. Um, I'm just kind of giving you something that I don't see anybody in the running world. And this is where, like I said, it's the beauty of cross training, it's the beauty of trying different arts, because then you can learn something. And then basically, I wouldn't recommend it if I wasn't doing it. So anything that I do, I've tested, I see improvements. I just had my best time in 5 years at the Sedona Half Marathon. My last two, I beat my previous time from LA Marathon, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, because My next marathon is LA Marathon, which is March 20th. And with a tibialis raise, if you can do that, that will definitely help take away a lot of the lower pain. It just will help you as you get older and you want to walk and not have to worry about falling. That is a great way to do it. And it's so easy to do. There's no weights required. I sometimes will just be like I just took a trip and I had a lot of downtime. So I started doing those in the downtime. Sometimes when I go to the laundromat, I do them because you can really just do them anywhere, and it's just going to make you stronger, and it's really neglected. Um, Ever since that book came out, the shoes kind of got thinner. And then as people started getting injured, then the shoes now are really getting really, really padded. Hoka is a big brand that a lot of people are using. And it's just because, in my opinion, our feet are getting weaker, and that's not going to help us. So by getting our feet stronger, it's going to help avoid a lot of issues from the knee that go all the way to the back. So definitely try that. It'll help you just anything besides a sprinter, because a sprinter kind of has to run in a different way. But for any sport, for running, if you are a heel striker, if you overstride, or if you have shin splints, definitely try those. I recommend doing it at least 3 times a week. And 25 sets, 2 sets of 25, and that's it. With other ones, if you want something more customized, you can always reach out to me. But I have different running certifications, and I don't see any of the running coaches talking about this. And when you see all the professional athletes where they're getting hurt, is the Achilles. It's the lower part of the body. It is not like the glutes or the hamstrings. Here and there, yes, you see them pull it, but overall, it is the Achilles. It's the ligaments. It's the damage that has been done because of shoes. And yes, we need shoes now because there's concrete and there wasn't concrete before, but really they were invented for fashion. And it's just imagine if you had a cast on your arm, how long would it take for you to lose control of that arm? So that is what we're basically been doing to our feet. And um, that's why I recommend doing it barefoot. One, it makes it easier. Two, you start just being in touch more with your whole body. We've kind of forgotten about our body. And I can definitely speak for myself. When I was younger, I'd always have shoes on. As I got older, if I didn't have my shoes on, I would literally feel naked. The reason I started training without shoes is through martial arts. And it took me a long time to get used to that. And then I started realizing that I was weak because all these marathons that I finished, it was through heart. And the more I learned about the body, I'm like, I'm surprised that didn't hurt myself worse because I wasn't doing the proper things. And now I've always believed that you should train your weaknesses. You should find out what your weakness is and then train it. And I just didn't know how to train it. So I'm so happy that I do cross train the algorithms, and it stumbled into my feed. And that is how I learned a bunch of these exercises. And then I just mix them with, like I said, I've been doing a bunch of things from yoga to jujitsu to kettlebells. So I like to kind of incorporate it all, mix it all up, and from there, just see the results. So I hope this helps. Like I mentioned earlier, I usually sell this for $59.99 plus shipping and handling, inflation, taxation. But today I gave it away for free, all because I want people to feel healthy. If you think this is helpful, if you think this will help anybody that you know has shin issues, is a heel striker, has tried to fix their form and they keep heel striking or overstriding. Please share this video and let me know in comments on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere. Let me know if this is helpful. And till next time, this has been Coach Ray, Athletic Definition. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.